Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading. I'm Gabby Turner, and in this reading we're going to be asking what feelings are they hiding, what feelings are they not telling you, and what feelings are they not admitting, basically. And also I'm going to look into a little bit why are they not revealing these feelings, and we'll see if there's anything else that comes up as well. So let me hold up the three options a little bit better for you. We've got some lighting issues that I don't know how to manage the lighting issues, but anyway, option number one is the Devil. It's a little bit hard to see the lettering. Option number two is the Six of Swords, and option number three is the Queen of Swords. She's the hardest to see, I think. But anyway, hopefully this will give you an idea. So we have number one, the Devil, number two, Six of Swords, and number three, Queen of Swords. Take your time to decide. These cards are from the Mars Power Tarot deck. And the timestamps will be listed below, as well as information on personal readings, which I would encourage you to try if you haven't already. And once you've decided, just click that timestamp and I'll see you at your reading. Okay, option number one, folks, you chose the Devil. And just FYI, I shuffled the deck and just pulled the three cards that were at the bottom of the deck in order. So this is just what came up. I'm shuffling. The deck that I'm going to use to read from is the Cosmic Tarot deck, so a different deck from the one that you drew from. This is what the back looks like on the Mars Power deck. It's a pretty cool deck. This one is as well. This is one of my favorite reading decks, not that you asked. When I cut the deck, the initial feeling I get about your person with the Justice and the Prince of Wands is that something about they want to tell you the honesty, they want to tell you the honest truth. They feel like you do see part of the truth of their feelings already. Like they feel that you, group one, are reading them correctly. There's some sort of energy of they think that you're reading them correctly, but what? They find you hard to read. They find you hard to read, and they feel that you are holding back. So I feel like they are purposefully holding back a little bit themselves because of that. But they want to be honest. They want to be able to totally say like exactly how they feel, but they feel like you are not, or that you will not do that, that you have a sort of barrier up where you're not willing to reveal everything. Yeah, they want both of you to equally reveal. And I think they're trying to figure out why you don't seem like you want to reveal everything. Again, these are like this is how they're reading you, right? This is just coming up here. They don't think that you're purposefully trying to be dishonest, but they feel like you have some sort of motivation not to reveal everything. Self-protective, first of all. They do feel that you love them. I think this person feels that you do love them, and they feel, I'm just getting a sense that they're not sure if they're worthy of that love. And why do they feel that way, that they're not worthy of your love? Because they definitely idealize you here with this World card. They're putting you on a pedestal. They think you're just perfect. You know, the most amazing person they've ever met. They're like, wow, like my whole life shifted more positively by meeting group 1. So back to why do they think, or like, I mean, I think they're not sure why you're holding back, but they do feel like you are. They feel like maybe even with your friends, you might not share everything. It's almost like they feel like you don't like to burden people with the whole truth. You don't like to burden people, group 1, with the whole truth. And that they feel like this is how you are with everyone, not just them. People who you are close to, right? You hold some things in because you don't like to burden people. But they want to know. They want to know what it is that you are, you know, like holding on your own shoulders. They understand that you have reasons of integrity for doing that, right? Like you're like, I'm trying to be a strong and noble person and not put my burdens onto other people, not drain other people. But they're like, okay, I get that. I see that, I understand that, and I do respect you for that. But I want to know all your secrets, you know. Okay, what else says group 1's person? What are they not admitting or not revealing? So they're not telling you that they want both of you to totally let your guard down. They're not telling you that they feel that they may not be unworthy of their love. And when they feel that way, it isn't because they don't have self-respect, because they were showing up as the Emperor. I think that they definitely have self-respect. It's just because they idealize you so much, and they think that your love is so extra special because of that. They do feel like they have a strong capacity to provide you with love and to be there for you, to be like a shoulder you can lean on, to be someone you can rely on. They feel like they are the type of person that you should be able to open up to, but they also realize, like I said before, you're just not the type to totally open up. But they kind of like that about you. They like that as a bit of a challenge. You're like, you're a nut to crack, so to speak. Like, you know, they want to be able to get inside your mind a little bit more and know more what you're thinking. And I think that they feel like it's only a matter of time that they will be able to. They're like, you know, I have to be patient here. I have to continue to respect group 1's boundaries. But they've noticed that you also, like, you are a shoulder to lean on for them as well. So they feel like both of you are able to do that. And they also see both of you as like really putting in a concerted effort to do that. You know, like, it's not always easy to be there for someone and be the type of person that they can open up to or emotionally lean on. But they feel like both of you have been willing to do that for each other, and they want more of that to happen. Okay, what are they not telling you? Okay. Well, this is heavy, and you know, this is what it means to be an intuitive tarot reader, is that when cards come out and you just get like a gut level instinct of what the cards are saying, it's like the cards themselves are kind of almost serving sometimes as a trigger for that clairsentient message or knowledge. But I feel that this person has been in a relationship before. It could be like a family relationship. It could be a romantic relationship that they've been in before, but there's some, it could be a sibling even, but like someone was abusive to them and they shrugged it off, or they tried to just get along with it. And it's not that they tried to pretend it didn't happen. They almost just sort of normalized it and said, well, I guess this is just how life is. We just accept these types of things. And, you know, no family is perfect, or no friendship or relationship is perfect. I feel like they do feel like someone took advantage of them and like pushed their own selfish needs onto this person in some kind of way. But it's like they buried the hatchet with this person. It's not coming through exactly as forgiveness, though, so much as like trying to compartmentalize it. And almost like downplay it, you know? Like downplay the significance of it. Well, that wasn't that big of a deal. It could have been worse. Type of thing. They were trying to get along with this person and also with other people that were connected to the situation. They didn't want to ruffle feathers, I think, is basically what it is. And so they minimized it. Okay, so that's just something that they don't tell you about. What else do they not admit? When it comes to your all's dynamics specifically, they do feel that the two of you are almost like the perfect balance to each other, because we have the sun and the moon, and then we have the temperance card. And the temperance card to me in romantic relationship readings is about like balance and harmony and alchemy. And the sun and the moon, of course, they have this complementary, never-ending cycle, you know, that they're always going through together. So it's like they feel that the two of you just complement each other perfectly. So what does that mean to them? Why do they feel that the two of you complement each other so perfectly? This is interesting. So they're seeing themselves as the Ace of Wands, and they're seeing you as the Nine of Wands. So this is interesting. Like the Nine of Wands is like someone who's seen and done everything and continues to persevere. The Ace of Wands is someone who's like always ready to start a new cycle, always motivated. It's like they see you as like being close to being run down. Like this is like someone who's at the end of running a marathon and they're like waiting for that second wind to kick in. And they're the energy of someone who's just starting the marathon. And then the shared energy is the Four of Wands, which to me is a card about milestones or something. They think you're complementary because you're running some similar sort of race in a sense. They might just be starting out in what they're doing with that particular life journey, but you're about to complete a cycle yourself. What is it that the journey is about? It has something to do with family and or money. It also could be like corporations or government or something. 10 of Pentacles and the Judgment. Could be some cycle that has to do with really making life-altering choices regarding how you relate to either the structure of your family or the structure of like a company you've worked for, the structure of society. I know that's a lot of different things, but let me try to understand. Both of you are in a similar life phase that has to do with breaking out of the mold, breaking free. Maybe it's just breaking free of expectations, right? Expectations that, you know, you're supposed to live your life this way. These are the socially accepted ways to go about living your life. Yeah, this is what it is. Both of you are breaking free of that mold. So they view themselves as being at the start of some journey of breaking out of society's expectations or their family's expectations or what is expected of them in terms of their career. But they feel like you have been in that process for a long time, and you're almost finally getting to the finish line of it. I'd say it could be like owning your own business or just living life on your own terms. Maybe it could be for some of you like living off grid or something like that, but it's like finding a sense of abundance and freedom in life, whereas the common societal expectations would maybe provide more for you in terms of structure and even finances, but that normal way of doing things is too limited for both of you. So anyway, they're seeing some sort of common ground here. And for whatever reason, it's coming through like this is just something we don't talk about. This is something we don't talk about. I feel like they view the two of you as not talking about this mutually shared journey of, you know, living life off the beaten path, because it's almost like respecting each other's manifestation process or something. Like, I trust you know what you're doing with your life. I'm not going to question you on it or make you talk about it too much. And it doesn't seem like you're questioning me or making me talk about it too much either, because it's like we both understand that maybe talking about it would actually make it harder to make those choices to go about life and carve our own path, that type of way. But regardless of the fact that the two of you haven't discussed it very openly, like they're aware of it, you know, like they're aware of what you're doing with your life in that regard. They're also aware that they're, again, like starting a similar journey themselves. I don't think it's the same journey, but it's like there's a similarity there, which I've already described. But I do feel like looking at what you have done, you know, and nearing the finish line and whatever that means to you, like they're learning from you. Page of Swords, like they're picking up tips from like how you have gone about doing those things. They're like, okay, I see they did this and that seemed to work for them. Maybe that will help me too. Okay, what about their feelings are they not telling you? We have the Four of Pentacles, the Devil, which was our starting card, right? This is just the Devil in a different deck. And then the Two of Wands. I think, and just to clarify, was the Eight of Pentacles. Another thing that they wouldn't tell you is that they are very practical about relationships. And I think they're feeling that, you know, they might have to be in a relationship with someone else, or they're like, if that's how it is, or if that's how it is more, how do I word this? They're just practical. They're like, I might be in a relationship that's not with group one, but I will still always love them and hold a flame for them. So for some reason, they feel that it is likely or very possible that the two of you actually won't be able to be in a relationship or to be able to maintain a relationship or something. But they're like, I will be in a relationship with someone else, most likely, if I'm not in one with you. It does feel to me like this person prefers the safety and security of being in a relationship with someone. So they're like, if it's not working out that it's you, I will choose a relationship that can functionally work, but I will still always love you. I will always still be attracted to you. I will always still desire you and be pretty fixated on you. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Anything else that this person is not admitting or revealing. I'm getting a strong no because all three cards are reversed, but I am going to get a final message here, whoa, from this Osho Zen book. So I'm just going to turn to the Devil card here, since that was the card that you pulled, and we'll see. Okay, in this deck, the Devil card is called Conditioning, and it has an image of a lion and some lambs, I think. All right, so let's see. This may just be a spiritual message. It might apply to your connection with this person. Maybe it's a bit of both. We'll find out. This card recalls an old Zen story about a lion who was brought up by sheep and who thought he was a sheep until an old lion captured him and took him to a pond where he showed him his own reflection. Okay, this definitely relates to what I was saying before about the two of you being on the same path of doing things your own way. But let's keep reading. Okay, so this old lion came upon this lion who had been raised by sheep. The old lion shows the other lion his reflection in a pond. Many of us are like this lion. The image we have of ourselves comes not from our own direct experience, but from the opinions of others or the choices of others. A personality imposed from the outside replaces the individuality that could have grown from within. We become just another sheep in the herd, unable to move freely and unconscious of our own true identity. It's time to take a look at your own reflection in the pond and make a move to break out of whatever you have been conditioned by others to believe about yourself. Dance, run, jog, do gibberish, whatever is needed to wake up the sleeping lion within. So yeah, like I was saying, like this person feels you're almost like the old lion. That doesn't mean that you're older than them necessarily, but like in the sense of you breaking out of whatever you've been conditioned by life to do. You've broken out of conditioning, societal conditioning or your family's conditioning, and they feel that it hasn't been easy for you with that Nine of Wands, but you've kept at it and you've gained a lot of wisdom along the way, and you're about to maybe reach the finish line in some sort of sense. But they respect that, they see that, they're inspired by it, and in some way they're breaking out of that conditioning themselves as well. All right, here's the further message. Unless you drop your personality, you will not be able to find your individuality. Individuality is given by existence. Personality is imposed by the society. Personality is social convenience. So this is just how this book is defining these terms. Society cannot tolerate individuality because individuality will not follow like a sheep. Individuality has the quality of the lion. The lion moves alone. The sheep are always in the crowd, hoping that being in the crowd will feel cozy, and many times it does. Being in the crowd, one feels more protected, secure. If somebody attacks, there is every possibility in a crowd to save yourself. But alone, only the lions move alone. And every one of you is born a lion, but the society goes on conditioning you, programming your mind as a sheep. It gives you a personality, a cozy personality, nice, very convenient, very obedient. Society wants slaves, not people who are absolutely dedicated to freedom. Society wants slaves because all the vested interests want obedience. Wow, so that was pretty cool how that tied together there. Group 1, let me know if you made it to the end here. Like, leave a little sun emoji or your favorite emoji, or just say I made it to the end of the reading. You know, I'm never sure like exactly how many people end up listening to the whole reading, so I guess I'm just curious if you could help me out there. But anyway, guys, I hope that it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Six of Swords from the Mars Power Tarot deck. And I'm using the Steampunk Tarot to do your reading. Got 10 of Pentacles wanting to show up on the bottom of the deck, along with the Chariot. So getting right into it, what is this person not admitting? They definitely... something related to family. Let me see more specifically, because these are both family-oriented. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand before I speak. It has something to do with pregnancy. Okay. Okay. It has something to do with a child that they have either had with someone else. These are the cards I'm pulling. Their energy is the Three of Cups. We have the Temperance, and we have Two of Pentacles as you, how they're seeing you. I feel like there's something here about a pregnancy with someone else. Okay, did this already happen? Okay, it's something that already happened, and I feel like it's not a secret. So there has been a pregnancy with someone else. And it's not a secret. I'm not really sure. There was some pregnancy with someone else, and it's not a secret. Okay. So that part of it is not a secret, but what are they not telling you about it? Okay, I think what they're not telling you is that they're still involved with the person that they had the pregnancy with, right? I mean, I don't know if you're watching for a woman or a man, but someone in this dynamic with a third party, there was a pregnancy. If you're watching for a man, they got a woman pregnant. If you're watching for a woman, they got pregnant. you know, it could be someone got pregnant, right? I guess it could be a lesbian couple and you got pregnant somehow. You know what I mean? Like, but what they're not telling you is that they are still involved with this person that they had this pregnancy with. Okay, they're not admitting that to you. But I feel like what's interesting is that they do give you certain hints at the truth, and like that's what gives them peace of mind. With this Temperance card, it's like they're telling you things that are true. It's not like they've told you lies. They've told you the truth in a sort of strategic way. They've given you just enough truth for you to believe what you want to believe, or for you to believe what's convenient for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an outright lie, but a very deceptive path of truth. Okay. I didn't expect to start with that. I feel like, you know, from their perspective, they're viewing this as something that they didn't necessarily expect things to go exactly how they went. I feel like either you came into their life unexpectedly, as maybe they were, you know, like, there was a lot of change going on. We've got the Death, the Tower, and the Ten of Wands. There was a whole lot of change. They didn't know exactly where things were going to land. They were just trying to make the best choices that they possibly could, given everything that was happening. Like, you were in their life, but this other person was in their life as well. And I'm definitely not justifying or making excuses here, but the way they're seeing it is that they were kind of between a rock and a hard place because too many things were going on at once. And I guess this pregnancy, it seems to me, is what I'm picking up, is the pregnancy was already in motion or already set in motion. Maybe they didn't realize that the other person was pregnant. They may have broken up or separated, and then they got with you and find out about the pregnancy. It seems like it's something along those lines. And so they felt basically that they were trying to make the best choices that they could. It's not like they set out to deceive you. I think because things had happened so rapidly with this other person, they may have had intentions for it to be a full break, a full and complete break with this other person. And they genuinely, I think, felt that that's what was going to happen. Like, okay, me and this third party are definitely over. Yeah, there might be a pregnancy going on, but we're going our separate ways. And then that seems like it just didn't happen exactly. Like there was some sort of unfinished business between the two of them. I will say that whatever's going on with the person you're watching this for and this third party, they're a little bit like tiptoeing around on eggshells with each other even. Because it's awkward. There's a sort of awkward energy. 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords. There's a lot of uncertainty. Like, I would say neither of them really exactly knows what the other wants. But it's like both of them feel like maybe we shouldn't completely drop this thread or something. I would say they're almost trying to just be friends. Full card in the 2 of Cups. But it's just like, it's a complicated situation because how can you just be friends in a situation like that? That's not easy to do. Okay, so what more is this person not admitting to you? Should we go more down about this third party situation, or is there something else to look into? We're going to be looking into something else, probably more their feelings, because we have the King of Cups. So what are they not saying to you about their feelings for you? Well, first of all, they feel that you deserve the best. We have the Ace of Wands, the Hermit, and the Judgment card. sometimes they feel like you deserving the best might actually mean that you would be better off without them. They do see you as a very strong person. They feel that if you knew that they were still involved with this other person, that you definitely would move on. They don't think that you would, like, lower yourself to being, you know, the other woman or the other man or whatever. Not that I'm judging that that's lowering yourself, by the way, for anyone who's watching who has done that, but I'm just saying they're viewing you as like, okay, group 2 would pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and go on to bigger and better things, you know. Like the person you're watching this for is very humble, I think. They don't feel like they're like, oh, I'm the most amazing person. Group 2 is lucky to be with me. It's very much the opposite of, like, you know, realistically, group 2 can do a lot better than me, and honestly, I hope that they have the life that they deserve, which is an amazing life. You know, they view you as an amazing person. They think that you deserve an amazing life. Okay. What else are they not telling you? You have 2 of Swords, the Empress, and the 9 of Swords. They feel like you're someone who has a lot of anxiety. It's like almost like they feel that you show up for other people in loving and nurturing ways, the Empress, but at your own detriment at sometimes. They're viewing themselves as the 2 of Swords. So they're just kind of like, I think they kind of feel like, you know, I come across as someone who's always there for other people, and I am, but I know how to do it in a way that is more balanced to my own needs, and so I don't end up getting drained. I don't end up becoming anxious or overextended by it. I can let other people's issues kind of like roll off my back and not be so consumed by it. But they feel, whether they're right or not, they feel that you maybe absorb other people's negative energies too much, or just take on too much on behalf of other people. And your goal in doing that is to be loving and nurturing and kind. But this is just something that they have noticed about you. Why are they not telling you that? It's kind of an observation that they're making. I don't think they see necessarily the need to tell you that they're observing that. But it's something that they're curious about when it comes to you. It does make them want to extend themselves to you a bit more. You know, they're like, well, normally I don't really overextend myself on behalf of other people, but with group 2, I kind of want to. But they're not really sure if you see them that way. They're not really sure if you see that they are trying to go out of their way to help you at the same time. This is kind of a complex reading, because you'll have a lot of different types of things coming up here that they're not admitting. Okay. What else is this person not admitting to? Group 2, we have the 3 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Wands. I feel like there's some common interest that they have. Common interests that they have. Wow, there is so much going on in this reading. It's a common person, someone that both of you know. Maybe you might both view this person as someone with a lot of religious knowledge and or academic knowledge. They're not telling you that they also have had an interest. I don't know if you are watching, if you're watching this for someone who is like polyamorous, or there are two different words, but like polyamorous and I'm talking about people who can have multiple relationships at one time or something. I mean, let's not go down. I mean, maybe or maybe not, but like this person, there's a lot going on here. Like it feels to me that they definitely can have multiple attractions going on at the same time, and they don't feel like they have to focus on one person. But in addition to the third party that they all already mentioned, there's someone that this person thinks that you are also attracted to or have been, and they're like, and I have an attraction to that person too, but they would never tell you that. And it's someone who you would both view as spiritually or philosophically or academically very talented or knowledgeable. Group 2, you gotta let me know what's going on here, because this is a... Yeah, I think both of you have had some sort of significant encounter with this philosophical person, and or someone who is almost like a spiritual guru, someone who maybe they share their spiritual message or their philosophy or their opinions or something like this. And both of you have thought that that was like a meaningful encounter that you had with this person, but they're not telling you that. They're not telling you about their own encounter with this person, although they feel like they had maybe an even more significant encounter with this person than you did. They do feel like you might suspect it a little bit, but again, they're not bringing it up. Okay, what else were they not admitting to you? What feelings or situations? There's a lot going on. This is like a whole soap opera right here. I'm gonna need to take a sip of coffee. I don't have any tea, but sip some coffee. What else does this person not tell you? I think that they engage in fantasies of making a lot of money and being able to change your life and like make life easy for you. You're like, man, if I won the lottery or if I got rich somehow, I would like shower group 2 with financial blessings. Like, I'm talking about big, like they would buy you a house type of a thing. Like they're like, I would set group 2 up. If I got some money, I would set group 2 all the way up. Because the Hanged Man is about, for one thing, it can be about visions and like imagining things. Like being a visionary, being able to put your mind in a headspace that doesn't yet exist. But it's also about making sacrifices and extending yourself. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. They're like, man, if fortune comes my way, I'm going to be sharing it with group 2. And why do they feel that way? They just feel like it's the right thing to do. And they feel like it would make themselves happy, and also that it would make you happy. But I think they also feel like maybe, yeah, that almost like you wouldn't want to accept it, or you would like question, should I accept this gift or not? Are there strings attached to this gift? Or and the reason they're not telling you that, I think, is just because it's their fantasy. They don't even know if it's going to come true or not. But it is a fantasy that they like, and they feel like if they did have some big windfall of fortune, it would make it a lot easier for you all somehow to have a happy life together, which they would like to have. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think the final thing is, and they may have said this, but you bring them happiness. If they haven't said this outright, then I think that it has been heavily implied, or it's easy to read that they do feel this way. But they love having you around. They love having you in their life. They do feel, I feel almost like a little bit shy around you, but they might try to cover up that shyness. So that would be another thing that they're hiding, trying to hide that they do feel a little bit bashful around you, even though they like being around you. Yeah, I think they're pretty good at hiding that they're bashful, because I think they do come across as very like grounded and mature and stable and practical or something. Like they're not really, it's not that obvious actually that they feel shy around you. But I think that they suspect that you might be able to notice it, I guess. And maybe you kind of do, I don't know. But in any case, they are still pretty good at hiding it. Okay, so that's the reading, but the card that you pulled is a Six of Swords, and just as a little bit of an extra, which often, I've been doing this lately, and often it does tie into the romantic reading, but it may or may not. I'm going to basically read the card that you chose in the beginning, which was the Six of Swords, from this Osho Zen Tarot deck. These are pretty cool messages. So the Six of Swords in this deck, it's called the Six of Clouds, or the mind. In order to understand the message, you have to understand their visual is a little bit different. So this is the visual. It shows two people, one carrying one on his shoulders, and then on top of that person's shoulders there's a rooster. Okay. When we carry a load of shoulds and shouldn'ts imposed on us by others, we become like this ragged, struggling figure trying to make his way uphill. Go faster, try harder, reach the top, shouts the foolish tyrant he carries on his shoulder, while the tyrant himself is crowned with an imperious rooster. If life these days feels like just a struggle from the cradle to the grave, it could be time to shrug your shoulders and see what it feels like to walk without these characters on your back. You have your own mountains to conquer, your own dreams to fulfill, but you will never have the energy to pursue them until you release yourself from all the expectations you've gathered from others but now think are your own. Chances are they exist only in your mind, but that doesn't mean they can't weigh you down. It's time to lighten up and send them on their way. A man's true life is the way in which he puts off the lie imposed by others on him. Stripped, naked, natural, he is what he is. This is a matter of being and not of becoming. The lie cannot become the truth. The personality cannot become your soul. There is no way to make the non-essential the essential. The non-essential remains non-essential, and the essential remains essential. They are not convertible. And striving towards truth is nothing but creating more confusion. The truth has not to be achieved. It cannot be achieved. It is already the case. Only the lie has to be dropped. All aims and ends and ideals and goals and ideologies, religions and systems of improvement and betterment are lies. Beware of them. Recognize the fact that as you are a lie. Manipulated, cultivated by others. Striving after truth is a distraction and a postponement. It is the lie's way to hide. See the lie, look deep into the lie of your personality, because to see the lie is to cease to lie. No longer to lie is to seek no more for any truth. There is no need. The moment the lie disappears, truth is there in all its beauty and radiance. In the seeing of the lie, it disappears, and what is left is the truth. I mean, that was a little convoluted, I must admit, even though I do love this book. But I feel like as it pertains to you and this person, there's clearly a lot that they are hiding from you, or a lot that they do not admit, right? So when we realize that someone is keeping a lot from us, it can make us focused on, like, what's the lie? What are all the other lies? Or like, let me seek for the truth. Like, what's the truth of this complicated, outlandish situation, right? And I kind of feel like your spirit guides are saying here, like, maybe the bigger truth is it's too much of a ball of yarn that I don't need to be wasting my time unraveling, you know? It doesn't mean kicking this person out of your life. I think what it means is just, clearly this is someone who has a lot going on that they haven't openly revealed to me. I could try to see what the full detailed truth of it all is. It's going to be very difficult to see that to begin with. So maybe I can just accept the larger truth is, you know, this is never someone who I'm going to have a real clear picture of, and it's just best to proceed with that umbrella understanding of them, right? Do you get what I'm saying? This person has a lot of secrets. They may not even see it that way themselves sometimes, but they do have a lot of secrets, and it's secrets that you really should, some of them, especially the first one that came out, like, you are basically entitled to know that, and yet they haven't told you because they're seeing, like, well, I was between a rock and a hard place, or this, that, and the other, you know. It's just like, it's a little bit of a maze. Here is what it is. You could try to figure out your way through the maze, or you could just say, you know what, it's a maze with this person. There is a jumble of maze in interacting with this human being, and I'm just going to keep reminding myself of that. It's a bit of a hall of mirrors, we could put it that way as well. I just know that when I'm dealing with this person, I'm dealing with a hall of mirrors, and you just never know what's behind the next corner with them, and there could be a lot going on that I'm not even aware of. So I'm going to be aware that there's too much that I'm not aware of. And that's the biggest, most important truth to hold here. Like, be wary of what could be lurking within the maze and the confusion of this person's life. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. So group 2, if you got to the end of this reading, let me know somehow in the comments if you don't mind helping me out. I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out, like, how often do people actually watch all the way to the end of each reading? just wanting to know. You can just leave an emoji of any kind. You can leave a message saying, I watched to the end of my reading. You know, whatever feels best to you. But that would be a nice, easy way of engaging in an energy exchange, is just like giving me that insight. If you care to do so, it would be pretty nice and kind of you. But anyway, thank you so much for watching Group 2, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Alright, Group 3, you chose the Queen of Swords, and here she is in all her glory. It was a little hard to see this card in the opening, but let's go ahead and get into your reading, asking what your person is not admitting. So about their feelings, their thoughts, any kind of dynamic. I've had so many things I did not expect coming up in the first 2 readings, so we'll see what's happening. I have this, I don't remember the name of this deck, but it's sort of like a surreal dreamscape type of tarot deck. And I kept hearing Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Green Gables, before I pushed record on your reading. So let me try to understand here. Something about Anne of Green Gables. I don't know what that. So we have the Death card, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles. I mean, in terms of Anne of Green Gables, I guess the Death card here is making me think of, if you're familiar with the book series of Gilbert and Anne. Kind of like this, they were made for each other type of energy, even though it didn't always seem that way. At times it almost seemed like they were rivals when they were kids. They met when they were kids. It was hard for her to kind of lay down her independence. And like her need to be kind of like, I don't know, I guess independent, plucky and independent. So something here about the dynamic between the 2 of you having to change. This person has had to change in order to become ready for you. Yeah, they've had to, something they've had to change, or some process of their personal development, or whatever they've had to go through in order to be the right person for you. For Gilbert, it was growing up. For Gilbert and Anne, it was growing up and some sort of recognition. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. I think that what they would not admit to you is that they did not always see you as the person that they were meant to be with. They didn't always see it that way. Okay. They didn't always see it that way, that the 2 of you were meant to be together in a romantic sense. Tell us more. The Queen of Swords coming up again from a different deck here. And the King of Swords. This is very interesting. So that we have the Queen of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So they could see certain similarities between the 2 of you. I think they always could see that the 2 of you had some sort of similarities. It could be that you had some similar, like, intellectual or scholarly interest, or with the Queen and King of Swords, maybe you were both always good at school or something. They always liked that, and they always respected that about you. They saw the 2 of you maybe like having a similar life path, But they saw that more in terms of like what you were each going to go off and do for work or something. They didn't see it as, I mean, they might have thought like, oh, I bet we'll both grow up and be teachers, or oh, I bet we'll both grow up and be scientists, or whatever it happens to be. They might have thought that you would grow up and both have the same type of career. That may have been initially how they related to you in their mind, but they didn't think of it in terms of, oh, I bet we're eventually going to be together romantically, or that we should, or anything like that. And so how did that shift for them? I think it may have shifted either through seeing you in a more revealing way, like maybe you were wearing clothing that was more revealing, or they just saw you in a different light, or they saw you in a context different from where they were used to seeing you. Like maybe they're used to seeing you in your college classroom, and then one day they saw you at the gym. And they're like, oh, when I see them working out at the gym, I feel a little bit differently about them, or something like that. Or you were dressed differently, or whatever, you know. I feel like you may have been mostly oblivious of them observing you during this moment, though. You're kind of like doing your own thing, off in your own head, not really noticing them noticing your body. I feel like it was them noticing something that they felt attracted to you about your body. But in any case, like, it really stuck with them. Like, that when things changed, it really changed, and then they couldn't not think of the two of you being together in a romantic way, and they really, really wanted it from that moment forward. Okay, but they have not revealed that to you. Why have they not revealed that to you? I think they don't feel that revealing that to you is necessary for them to be able to manifest being with you. We have Judgment, Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. They're more focused on the end goal, which is, let me be romantic with group 3. Not, let me tell them that I didn't used to see them romantically. Okay. Anything else that this person is not admitting to my group 3 folks? I feel that I feel like this person's really sad sometimes. I don't think it's purposefully that they're not admitting that, though, because I feel like they actually might want you to see that. This person might even be like actually going through a depression. I feel like it affects their ability to navigate social situations and like keep their own emotions in check. Like emotional regulation might be difficult for this person. The Moon card, Five of Swords reversed, the Chariot reversed. I feel like there is a lot of unresolved, sad feeling. Unresolved, yeah. Like a whole history of, gosh, this person's really had a lot of sadness in their life, and it's almost like they can't even cry it all out. They can't even wring out. It's like, have you ever had like a towel or something that was wet and you're trying to wring it out? It's not easy. That's how these sad emotions are for them. Like, they can't even totally rid themselves of this sadness. It's this very pervasive sadness that they feel. I feel like this person does really trust you with a lot. Like, they may not have had the opportunity to talk to you about a lot of these sad feelings that they have. I do think they kind of are a little bit self-contained, and they just kind of manage it on their own. It's like they don't even think about telling you about all of this. It's not like they're trying to spare you. It's just like it hasn't even occurred to them. I think that, like, living with the sadness has just been it has just become a part of their everyday reality, and they're used to just dealing with it. So again, it's not like they're trying to hide from you that they're sad. They themselves may not even realize the degree to which they are depressed. Like, there's a type of depression, it used to be called dysthymia, and then they changed the name of it to persistent depressive disorder. But it's like, a lot of times people with this disorder, it's almost like a functioning depression. You know, like, it's like a low-grade chronic depression that someone experiences, and because it's their baseline, they don't really realize that they're even depressed. But, anyway, they are. I do feel like this is an emotional person. They're aware of being an emotional person, but I don't think that it has dawned on them that they are probably clinically depressed. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a whole lot that this person is necessarily hiding about you, but I am just going to keep pulling cards and seeing what else you should understand about them or understand about this connection. I think they do see you as like a friend first type, right? Which kind of mirrors what we were saying at the beginning of the reading, that in the beginning they could see that the two of you were similar, that maybe you would go into the same career or had a similar goal or life path or a common vision or something. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot that they feel that ties the two of you together, primarily via friendship. And it could also be because in two of these cards, which I am going to show you, she's holding a globe, and then there's a globe at the end of this string. So it could be like the two of you, for one thing, share similar views of the world, similar world views, similar opinions perhaps on world issues, or similar approaches to world issues or something. But because of that, they do feel like an inherent friendship with you. I do feel like, you know, they do feel that they could talk to you about anything. So yeah, there's no motivation to purposefully hide anything. If there's anything that they have not revealed to you, it's simply because it has not come up in conversation yet. But I feel like this person is basically willing to be an open book. And this is the first reading. This is the first reading where I've gotten that. Definitely was not the case in the first two readings. But I feel like the issue here is more that this person doesn't always have complete self-awareness. Like, they are a self-aware person on a certain level, but it's like there are parts of themselves that they don't even see. It's like if you were trying to view yourself out of your peripheral vision, you know, it's like there's something, they just lack an ability to see and even know certain aspects of themselves. Like, they don't realize that they're depressed. They're just like, well, I'm an emotional person. I need to cry sometimes and just let it all out. But I feel like there's other things too about them that they just, it's not that this person isn't trying to be self-aware. They're sort of dichotomy because they are self-aware, but they're also, I think this is someone who has just a lot of layers. This person has a lot of layers. They have so many layers that despite that they have peeled back their layers and, you know, like put effort into being self-aware, like there's just too many layers even for them to peel back. But it's like, it is interesting at the same time because I feel like some of the things about this person that they don't see about themselves, their own blind spots in their self-awareness, you might see in a crystal clear. You're like, oh yeah, that's obvious, you know, such and such. Maybe to you it's like, oh, it's obvious that this person is depressed, you know, or it's obvious this, that, and the other, but like they are not seeing it about themselves. But I do, again, I keep getting this feeling they trust you with everything. So anything that they have not told you or opened up, it's either because it just hasn't come up in conversation or that they just don't even know it about themselves yet. And to be quite honest, I feel like there might be a mutual thing there. Like, I think that there are things about you, yourself, group 3, that you might not have totally come to terms with, or you might not be seeing clearly about yourself. And this person might kind of have a clearer insight into it. But it's like, I don't think they feel any need to like push the envelope and be like, well, I need to like point out to group 3 this thing about themselves. I think they respect you and are like, well, I'll let group 3 figure it out for themselves because maybe I'm wrong and that's not true about them, but, and maybe you're doing the same thing for them, like, well, it seems like this is true about them, but, you know, I could be wrong. You know, they seem like they know what they're doing with their lives, so I'm going to trust that they do. They seem like they know who they are, so I'll step back and allow them to be themselves. I feel like you both do that for each other. But yeah, there's a lot of trust. There's a lot of love here. Yeah, this person cries a lot. I mean, you may not know this about them, but it's not that they're trying to hide it. It's just like they're so used to it. They cry a lot. I don't think that they realize how, I mean, they know that they're an emotional person, but I don't think that they realize that the amount of crying they do is that out of the ordinary. I feel like also this person has a lot of interest in them. There are a lot of people who are interested in them, even in the level of friendship. People who want to be, who absolutely want to be this person's friend. But I feel like the person you're watching, they're oblivious to how much they mean to people. Like, I think a lot of times they feel, yeah, they can trust you and they would open up to you given the opportunity and whatnot, but like a lot of times they do just generally feel like they're very alone in life and just so sad. But a lot of people want to be friends with them, and they're, like I said, they're oblivious to it. Even the people that they know are their friends, they don't realize how much they mean to those people. That like people almost want to compete to be this person's best friend or something. Why do people want to compete to be this person's best friend? Like, it makes them feel special. Wow, we have the sun and the star. I don't know, people just want to be associated with this person through friendship. They feel like this person shines. And they feel a sort of kinship, like it's like a mutual self-love. Like, they see what is so lovely and shiny about this person, and it's almost like it helps people to see themselves more clearly. Like, it increases something about the energy this person puts out, increases the self-love that other people feel for themselves, and so that makes them desire to extend friendship to them. They're like, wow, you helped me to feel like I love myself at such a magnitude. Like, wow, you really water this self-love in me. And I don't think that this person is even like consciously doing it. There's something about their energy that naturally nourishes self-love in other people. Well, it's because they have a lot of self-love, you know. Yeah, they might cry a lot, but their tears are not because of a lack of self-love. Their tears are that they're just sad. I definitely think that a lot of their tears are rooted to their parents in particular. Definitely childhood issues of abandonment seem to be strong. Abandonment in some way or other. Emotional neglect. I don't know, could be an absent parent. Could be a parent who died. Could be all of the above. Could be the absence of love from their parents. But there's a lot of sadness that they just have not been able to fully release from all of that, all of those experiences related to how they were parented or not parented, you know. But I do feel like this is a very resilient person. You know, it's like they never quite give up. And sometimes it's almost like they need a good cry to set themselves back on the path and keep walking. You know, it's like almost where they get their energy from is crying it out. But yeah, I think, you know, they do attract people who want to be their friend, and most of those people have very genuine intentions. Sometimes there are people who simply want to be shiny by association, but who also want to outshine this person. And so I do feel like they might have issues sometimes with people wanting to almost like subdue their shininess, or like knock them off a pedestal or something, when all this person is doing is like engaging in self-love. Like, there's no need to do that. But some people do have a very strong ego response to this person, I would say. All right, anything else that you need to know about the person you're watching this for? It's going to be very hard for this person to ever, I mean, I don't know what your situation is with this person, but I'm just saying, like, it's going to be very hard for this person to ever, like, settle down and just be happy and content in life. With the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Swords, they have a long journey ahead of themselves of uncovering those layers And they're going to be surprised themselves sometimes at what they discover about themselves. And it's like almost like they are not even going to know mentally what to do with this new information. Like, I feel that this could be someone with repressed trauma and repressed memories on top of what they do remember, which is tragic enough. I just feel like pain in my chest. Like, this person has just, like, it's been a brutally difficult life. You know, when a person represses memories, it's because it was too much. You know, like they couldn't handle it then, and in order to gain strength, it just had to be like pushed into the back of the psyche, you know, like. But some of this is going to come out at some point, and it's going to be a lot for this person to handle. Like, I feel like it's understandably difficult for this person to trust people, so it does say a lot that they are capable of trusting you. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to settle into life and just be happy and okay, which unfortunately is true for way too many people. And I think that that's why, also part of why so many people feel, because they can empathize to some degree with this person, and it helps them to love themselves despite the horrible things they have been through as well. Like, even if it doesn't come up in conversation, it's like, it's very energetic. Like, this person just exudes like self-love and helps so many people, whether they realize it or not. I think they don't realize it at all. Helps so many people to love themselves. But yeah, they've got a hard lot in life in learning how to getting to the point where they can settle into any sort of happiness. Stability does not come easy for this person. Ease and just being able to relax and enjoy life doesn't come easy for this person. It doesn't mean that there aren't moments when they can do it, you know, but then there's going to be like repressed memories and stuff coming up. It's like when they get to the point of being able to relax a little bit, that's when the mind is like, well, I guess we're ready for this now, you know? So it's tough. Okay, so I'm going to end this reading by reading the Queen of Swords from the Osho's in Tarot, because that was the card that you chose in the beginning, and we'll just see. So usually this actually does tie into the romantic portion of the reading. Sometimes it doesn't, but either way, it's a message that your spirit guides are wanting to present to you. So Queen of Swords, also called the Queen of Clouds in this deck, and this is how it's portrayed in the Osho's in Tarot. But let me go ahead and get a sip of coffee, and then I'm going to read this message for you. And we'll find out together how it ties into what has been said so far. Morality has restricted all the juice and energy of life to the narrow confines of her mind. It can't flow there, so she really has become a dried up old prune. Her whole manner is very proper and stiff and severe, and she is always ready to see every situation as black and white, like the jewel she wears around her neck. The Queen of Clouds lurks in the minds of all of us who have been brought up with rigid ideas of good and bad, sinful and virtuous, acceptable and unacceptable, moral and immoral. It's important to remember that all these judgments of the mind are just products of our conditioning. And whether our judgments are applied to ourselves or to others, they keep us from experiencing the beauty and godliness that lies within. Only when we break through the cage of our conditioning and reach the truth of our own hearts can we begin to see life as it really is. So I think this is maybe something that you and this person have in common too. It's like you both are very connected to your own hearts, and you may both have been raised in conditions perhaps where you were taught very rigid views of right and wrong. But I do feel like this is what makes this person so kind of magnetic to others when it comes to that, you know, encouragement of self-love or flourishing of self-love, is because they have a sort of connected in feeling to God's love beyond the morality part of it. Okay. Bodhidharma far transcends moralists, Puritans, so-called good people, and do-gooders. He has touched the very rock bottom of the problem. Unless awareness arises in you, all your morality is bogus. All your culture is simply a thin layer which can be destroyed by anybody. But once your morality has come out of your awareness, not out of a certain discipline, then it is a totally different matter. Then you will respond in every situation out of your awareness. And whatever you do will be good. Awareness cannot do anything that is bad. That is the ultimate beauty of awareness, that anything that comes out of it is simply beautiful. It is simply right, and without any effort and without any practice. So rather than cutting the leaves and the branches, cut the root. And to cut the root, there is no other method than a single method, the method of being alert, of being aware, of being conscious. So I feel like this is a little bit difficult to absorb here, but I think what they're saying is like awareness is less about being told what to think and believe or how to behave, and more about like through observation understanding what right action really is. Let me pull some tarot cards here. What do your spirit guides want you to know about this message? What do they most want you to take away here from this? This person has had to free themselves from the expectations of what they were taught in childhood or what their parents told them. I think that the teachings this person encountered when they were a child were about wearing a mask. It wasn't about being a genuine loving person or even genuinely godly. It was about, this is the mask you wear so that everyone, you know, knows that you're a good church-going Christian or whatever it happens to be. I'm not trying to pick on Christianity because it exists in a lot of contexts, not just religious, but this person has a connection to a wisdom that is from within themselves. I feel like your spirit guides are letting you know that at some point you and this person are likely to part ways in some sense. It doesn't feel like a hatefulness. It doesn't feel like an argument, but in some way at some time the two of you are going to part ways. Despite the fact that you will part ways, or maybe this has already happened, your spirit guides do want you to know that there is love here. Sometimes when we go different ways in life, we might have a hard time remembering, well, we do still love and care about each other. But in any case, there is still love here, or there will still be love here. I'm not sure what that has exactly to do with the morality message. It could be that even the two of you end up having different beliefs about things at some point. Yeah, because I get the Hierophant here. And it's like, maybe it's easier not to impose, or better, or more kind and loving, not to impose, you know, your changing worldviews. Like there's a point, it seemed like you were sharing worldviews, but at some point you won't be sharing worldviews anymore. It's just saying that there is still mutual respect here regardless, you know, and maybe you haven't parted ways physically or in terms of contact, but just parted ways in terms of your belief, or if you haven't yet, that you will. Your spirit guides are letting you know that whatever this parting of ways, whether it's just in your beliefs or if it's going your own way in life, that there's still a mutual love and respect here. And they don't have to love and respect you. I think that's what they're trying to say with the reference to parents and upbringing. Like, they were expected to love their parents. It's not that they didn't or don't, but with you, they don't have to love you, and yet they do. So in any case, rest easy knowing that there will always be love between you and this person, even if you part ways in your beliefs or worldviews, or even if you go down different paths in life and you lose contact, you know. That's the message. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you found your way to the end of this reading. I'm curious. So leave an emoji or just a brief message saying, I made it. I made it to the end of my reading. I'm just curious how many people do. All right, so thank you all for watching, and that would be a sort of easy energy exchange if you would leave a comment and let me know that. But in any case, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.